Hey everyone, Jess here. This is my first time doing a live on YouTube with my GoPro. So I guess I'm a little freaked out because it doesn't show me on my screen if you can actually see me or not, which is kind of disheartening as to whether or not um, I'm actually in the picture or whether I look like shit or whatever. So, wanted to do a quick video and kind of touch base on what's been going on in my shop. The end of December, I took some time out to clean my shop, do some reorganizing. I figured 2 weeks was going to be enough for me to deep clean my shop, and it ended up that I got about a quarter of the way done. So I got the big stuff done, but there's a lot of little cleaning yet, and I'm going to take care of that hopefully after days after work and such. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I just started my next new batch the 1st of January. I worked the 1st of January. I started grinding my first batch for 2025 in the January 2nd. One thing that happened late last year is I picked up a new dealer for my knives, and currently only dealer, and that's I only want one dealer. I don't want multiple dealers. So Knives Ship Free is my new dealer, and they will be getting drops from me on occasion, and I'll make sure that everybody knows when those are going to be available, and what's going to be on there. So check out Knives Ship Free. He's a great. Jay Roush is the guy who runs that. He is a fantastic guy, and I'm really happy to be doing business with him. So check them out. They've got all kinds of different stuff, not just custom makers, but a lot of factory knives too. So Knives Ship Free. That was at the end of last year. I did a shipment to them, and I think they've got one or two left on their website. So I am currently working on another batch for them, and I'll kind of give you a heads up when those are going to be ready to go. As I had said, every year I try to get some new models, and I try to get some old models that either I don't think are as useful as I once thought they were, or they've maybe been replaced by a different model. And excuse me if I'm looking away. I'm trying to see if I'm able to view this live stream somewhere. If anybody understands how to do this, that would be fantastic. But otherwise, I'll learn as I go, I guess. So, a couple models I've gotten rid of. One model I reworked. Actually, a couple models I've reworked, but not quite sure if I'm totally happy with them. But one that got reworked majorly was the Meath, which was my big barbecue slicer, and it's about 16 inches overall, and I reworked the handle and the blade on it, and I'm hoping it's a lot more comfortable, and hoping it's a little more practical for its intended purpose. I'm doing the prototypes for them right now, and should have them hopefully hopefully I'll have them for my first show at Troy, Ohio, the Spirit of the Blade. If you're anywhere near Ohio or within a few hour driving distance of Troy, Ohio, I definitely recommend checking out that show. It's a fantastic show. It's small, but there are a lot of great makers there, and it's a really good time. So one of the knives, I always had people that came to me, especially near the end of the year, and they're like, what do you have for a hunting knife? I want a hunting knife for my husband or for my father or my son or whatever. And my knives generally are fairly specialized. I don't know if specialized is the right word, but they're not conventional. They're generally not conventional shapes. There are multiples of them that would make a great hunting knife. And when I'm saying hunting, I'm talking about whitetail. That's our main critter around here that people hunt in the fall. And I never have the answer for the perfect hunting knife for somebody. I have some people that absolutely love my Longford, the Longford 70 or 75. They love that knife for hunting. I have others that really like the Carlo, and they like that narrow, thin blade for doing their work. There's others that like the Donegal. But when you show these knives to somebody who isn't a hunter, and it's not anywhere near the shape of the knife that their husband or son or father currently uses for hunting, it's hard to convince them that this is going to be a good hunting knife, if that makes sense. So my Derry XM was a model that was often considered to be kind of my regular or basic hunting knife. Some people thought the blade was too small. Some people think the handle is too small. I'm actually one of those. The handle for me could be a little bit bigger comfort-wise, but I wanted the knife to be smaller so that it wasn't difficult to carry in an everyday carry situation. So, and most of my knives are designed to be held in a three-finger grasp, which I'll show you here in a second. Well, I can show you on my Luth that I carry. People look at that and think that the handle is too small on that, and it's because people think that you're supposed to hold the knife like that, and that's not the way I designed this knife to be held. I designed it to be held more like this, with three fingers on the back handle, and then the front index finger up along the spine. Gives you a great ability to really control your cutting edge and index it for where you're going to be cutting. So that's how a lot of my knives are designed, and the Derry XM handle fits that well. But people look at it and they want to grab it with a full fist, and it's just a touch too small for that. So I came up with a model. It does not have a name yet. It has an unofficial name, which I am not going to say until I can for sure claim that is going to be the name. But this is it right here. So it's about 3/4 of an inch or an inch longer blade than the Derry XM. It's still a fairly narrow blade. I think probably size-wise similar to like a Buck 119, might be a little bit taller than a 119. It has a sloped back part of the handle and a nice little finger tail right here to prevent your finger from riding up on the blade. But it's very comfortable in a full-fisted grip, The butt of it is coming just about to the end of your hand, and because this is sloped down so much, it doesn't dig into your hand. There are no hot spots on it. It's pretty comfortable. It's also very comfortable in a 3-finger grip, and that's kind of hard to show here. But if you were to hold it like that, and still gives you great grip, gives you great control, and the ability to index your finger so that you can control the blade and guide it exactly where you want. This is a full flat grind. I may try a hollow grind on this. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if I'd like the aesthetics of the hollow grind on here, and I don't really see much of a use, I guess, for a hollow grind on a hunting knife. So this one is just one of the prototypes. It's 5100, and it needs a handle, obviously, and it needs a my finger, my name on it. So, oh, hey, look at this. If I go to my YouTube on my laptop, then I can actually pull myself up and watch myself, or not watch myself, but watch, I can watch what I did. So this might be a little confusing for me if I keep the sound on. So I'm going to kill the sound. So this is the new model. I have another new model for a hunting knife, and it kind of takes after my Oni in shape, but a bit more of a drop point hunter. So I'm thinking that might be a popular one also, but I'm really hoping that this one right here is the one that turns out and ends up being a good hunting knife. So, oh shit. Yeah, that's what happens when you've got a messy desk. So the other thing that like I mentioned, I haven't officially made a name for this one. And one thing, I've always named my knives after Irish counties, or they've had an Irish theme to them, and that's kind of to pay homage to my my mother's side of the family, which my grandpa was pure Irish. My grandmother was 50% Irish, and that naming my knives after the Irish counties kind of paid homage to that. My logo is the H from the Holgrave Brewing Company, and oddly enough, I have a full bottle of Holgrave beer here. I actually have 2 bottles of Holgrave beer that are unopened, and the funny thing is that they went out of business in 1948. But this is where my H comes from for my logo, is from that bottle of beer right there. And the Holgrave name, my great-great-grandfather was raised by the Holgrave family, and Holgrave was a prominent brewery in Wisconsin, especially in the Green Bay area. And my grandfather was raised, or great-great-grandfather was raised by the Holgrave family. So that's where that H in my logo comes from. I need to come up with a new way to name my knives, and I have an idea, and I think it's kind of neat, and it's kind of important to me as a history buff or a person who likes history. So I may be, I'm not going to change names of knives that I have existing, but from now on, my knives may come with different names other than Irish counties. And part of that is because the Irish counties that are left, I have a really hard time pronouncing some of their names. So it's and some of the names are really long, makes it difficult to advertise and talk about knives when you have a hard time pronouncing the name of it. So that's one reason where I'm looking at changing some of my names on my knives, and other names I just can't use. I don't think I could use the name Mayo, which is one of the counties of Ireland, but obviously Tom Mayo is a well-known knife maker. For me to make a model of a knife and then name it after him, that to me seems weird. So I mentioned Spirit of the Blade coming up in the end of February. That's in Troy, Ohio. That is a Friday and Saturday show. And then also I have the Badger Knife Show, which is the end of March. That's in Janesville, Wisconsin. That is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show. That's a fantastic show also. It's going to be a little bit bigger than the Spirit of the Blade. But one thing that the Badger show has is it has dealers where the Spirit of the Blade is just custom makers and suppliers for like handle material and abrasives and stuff like that. They don't have knife dealers there, and they don't have people selling old pocket knives and collector knives and stuff like that, where the Badger Knife Show does. There's guys there that have tables full of Randalls and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool, and just two totally different shows as far as that goes. So the Badger Knife Show is end of March, and that's in Janesville, Wisconsin. Hope to see you there. I've got 2 tables there. That's the only show where I do handle material also. I'll have blocks of wood there and can help you out with a stabilized block of wood if you want. So I guess that's about it for Sunday night. Aries, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate the compliment. I guess trying to think, there was something else. Oh, Midwest Knife Makers Guild. The Midwest Knife Makers Guild is having a meeting. It is in February. I want to say February 8th. I'm not sure on that, but that's going to be held in Mankato. So if you're a knife maker and anywhere near the Midwest and you can drive to Mankato, that's going to be a great time. Chris Crawford, the fabulous folder maker and actually video maker, Chris Crawford makes incredible instruction videos. He's going to be there. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to be teaching, but he's going to be one of the instructors for the meeting. So I'm really hoping to make it over there. It's always just good to go over and see Tracy and Luke from USA Knife Maker. That's where the meeting is held at their facility. It's a great facility, and it's kind of nice because you can go shopping in their warehouse and pick out handle material and belts and just about anything you'd need. USA Knife Maker is a fantastic supplier for knife makers, and they're one of the only knife houses out there that literally handles everything. They do steel, they do handle material, they do belts, they do grinders, they do books, they do videos, they do pretty much anything a knife maker would need. You can get it from USA Knife Maker, and that's not something that other knife houses have. So I hope you can make it over there. It's a inexpensive membership. It's $25 a year, and you can go to USA Knife Maker and get that membership, or you can go to the Knife Makers Guild, the Midwest Knife Makers Guild, and get that membership. You don't need to show proof of your work or anything like that. It's an educational guild, and then they've got a hammer-in coming up in August also, and I believe Dennis Tyrell, who I'm not real familiar with, but he's going to be the instructor at that. So that'll be cool. And so if nobody has any questions, I guess I will probably close out here. One more thing on my Meath, my updated Meath, I did a poll on my Instagram and on my Facebook asking which model you preferred. I did two different handle styles. The one handle style is kind of similar to this, and I tend to like that one better. I think that one's going to look nicer and be a little more comfortable. The other one is a little more classic style that some people preferred. So go check those out. They're either on my Facebook page or on my Instagram, and vote in the poll as to which one you like. Otherwise, I am back to work tomorrow, unfortunately. And I guess everybody have a safe week, and we'll talk